Thanks for the support as a channel member, Charlie Pears. And just like that, boys and girls, we reached the end of the Christmas schedule. 2 weeks of just one video a day. That's just lazy. What kind of monster would only do one video a day? So we're back to what we're going to call normal for a little while, starting today, which is going to be Monday to Friday, non-league to legend at 4 o'clock, Born at 7 o'clock, and then Saturdays at 4 o'clock will be non-league to legend. Sundays at 4 o'clock will be Born. So 6 videos per week in each series, 12 videos a week in total. Will that do? Is that enough for now? And we'll keep that schedule going for as long as I can keep it going, which pretty much means until it starts to get warm enough for me to want to go outside during the day. Next couple of months, we're golden. We'll be fine. Plus, start of a new season today, and all of those things combined means this is probably a video that should get at least 2,000 likes. So if you are excited for the return to the normal schedule and 6 non-league to legend videos a week again from now on, nice big thumbs up, please. And this isn't a real tattoo. This is a temporary tattoo from board games. I'm a giant child. Hello and welcome to Club 3, Part 6 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first 2 games of the new Championship season. We're away against Forest, at home against Stoke, and we're going to get a good feel for just how good that transfer window we did over the weekend is. For a little bit of a reminder, just in case the transfer video disappears for any reason, YouTube, this is what we did. We actually operated on a transfer profit. We sold a whole load of fringe players who were never going to get anywhere near the team. We sold our backup left back for loads of money, which suggests he's probably better than I thought he was. And all of that added up to £4.4 million. You can see we've also loaned out an awful lot of players as well. And we've invested that money in largely a bunch of kids. Even the £1.8 million striker is a kid, plus Harry Chapman, who you'll remember from Bristol Rovers, just because he's got the same name as me and he's got a beard, and the combination of those two things means he's great. Plus, he's exactly what I needed, a right-footed inside forward to play on that left-hand side. We didn't sell Brown, though, so for the time being, Chong's still going to play there, and there's nothing Harry Chapman can do about it. So this is the team for that first day of the new season, away against Forest, and this is where we're going to get a good idea of where we stand for the season, I think. If we have a look at the pre-season preview, we are predicted to finish in 14th place. Forest predicted to finish 16th place. I think if we're as good as I'd like to think we are, we should be able to go to Forest and beat them. If we don't, then we know we're probably going to be mid-table like the prediction suggests. And if we get absolutely battered, I need to find a new job, and quick, before I get fired. So this is the team. We've got Hilson in goal, a back four of Brown, Stevens, Diaby and Williams, Moet and Rinomota in midfield, Chong, Slattery and Byrne supporting Hornby up front. And I know what you're thinking, Kev, all of those players were here last season. Yes, they were. I think this might be a first for a transfer window for me. Certainly a transfer window that I started with £5 million to spend in the Championship. I can't get my head around the fact we're starting the new season with no new players in the team. There are a couple of new ones on the bench, Brivio and Burke, just those two. I still think it was a good summer. So let's get our team talk done. I don't really... go out there and impress me. I mean, it's the team from last year. They already impressed me by turning a relegation battle into what almost became a promotion push. So they already know I know what they're capable of. But let's see if they were all one-trick ponies or if they've got it in them again for a full season. Because I'd like to... I mean, if we'd have taken just our form from when I was at the club, we would have finished in the playoffs last year. Of that, I am certain. I haven't worked it out because that sounds like a lot of work. But I think if you did a league table based purely on from when I arrived in mid-January, we'd be, if not automatic promotion, maybe, we'd definitely have been in and around the playoffs. We've been the better team in that first half, according to those stats. We didn't get a single highlight to verify that, though, which we've been the better team here. We'll passionately say that. Keep doing what you're doing. We'll be fine. Although I say that with a little pinch of, but try and do something worthy of a highlight, we've got to get this video to at least 10 minutes so I can stick a mid-roll ad on it. I've got to feed my kids, for goodness sake. We can't have boring 0-0 draws that don't lead to highlights. We finally get a highlight. Burn coming down the right-hand side, plays it out to Williams, who's on the overlap. Williams tucks it back into Burn. Burn can't... Oh, he does get the crossover, and Hornby's there and forces the save out of the Forest keeper. It's the first decent chance of the game. It's only been recorded as a half chance. I would argue Hornby probably should have done a little bit better there. Mow it with the resulting corner, though. Hornby gets half a head on it. It ends up with Stevens on the edge of the area, who shoots and just makes the goalkeeper look a little bit silly because he dived, even though the ball never made it through to him. That's a poor header from Diaby and has left us in a little bit of trouble here. Forest on the break and Hilson makes the save, but the Forest striker actually keeps it in play, and then the highlight does drift away from us. We had a little bit of explosion of excitement there, and then it's all gone back to, nothingness again. I mean, a draw is a perfectly acceptable result today because, remember, we're aiming for a top half finish. We're not going into this season expecting a promotion push. It would be nice if one emerges, but it's not essential. So drawing away from home against teams that were expected to finish roughly in the same position as is absolutely fine. We're bringing Beera on for Slattery just for a little bit of attacking difference making, and McGeehan can come on in midfield for Rinomhota. Because that probably should be our starting central midfield partnership. I just always play Rinomhota because I signed him and therefore I like him. We'll bring those two on. We'll drop a little bit of, let's have some passion. 10 minutes of passion. Burn, I'm keeping on. I think Burn is on the verge of being pulled off because I've never been a big fan of his. He was one that my director of football found for me in January. He's only playing today because Brown is not injured. He's got blisters. I'm not classing that as an injury. I refuse to. But actually, Chong's having a poorer game than Burn is. But then, Chong wants to be over this side. So, what I might do is switch Chong over there, give him 10 minutes playing as that inside forward that he so desperately wants to be. And that gives me the opportunity to bring Brivio on, the young striker from Norwich that we paid a lot of money for this summer. He will eventually be in the team as a striker, I'm sure, but can play as an inside forward on that left-hand side as well. And as a youngster, I don't think there's any harm in him breaking into the team initially out wide and then showing how good he is and forcing his way in as a striker. So Brivio can come on that left-hand side. And we asked for a little bit of creativity. None appears to be forthcoming. And it is a 0-0 on the first day of the season. Not a disastrous result. Not a particularly great result either. I said you could read into it pre-match what might happen this season as a result of that. To me, that says we'll probably finish mid-table. That's probably okay. There is a little bit of time left in the transfer window, though, before that next game. So there is the slight possibility that with £4.5 million still to spend, a deal might present itself to me. That being said, if we have a look at our current list of scouted players, and it's the theme from the transfer special. These are all players who've either already turned me down, are too expensive, or can't get work permits, or are playing in positions we don't need. I mean, there's so many right backs out there that are like, oh, that's a good deal. Ethan Laird for £1.5 million, probably even a little less for a right back of that quality. That's a lovely deal. And there's a few of them. There's a few examples of it. Ben Johnson as well, Dujon Sterling, all these right backs who, in isolation, look like great deals. But then you look at our squad depth and you go, well, actually, arguably our best player, Williams, is a 23-year-old right back who's probably better than all of those. And if you want a young player to compete with him, we've got Livramento, who's only 20, with bags of potential, an actual Italian under-20 international. We don't need either an established right back or a young and up-and-coming one. So right backs, useless to me. Useless. We signed George Best. I mean, there's not much more to say about it than that. We've just signed George Best. I mean, not just because, there's always the off chance that he might be the George Best. He might have snuck back into the database somehow. But he's also got 4.5 star potential, and he was cheap. Comes in from Institute for £92,000. He's a striker. He's not exactly been scoring loads and loads of goals, but his name is George Best. So I've signed him. Might sign someone else yet. Who knows? Couple of changes then for the Stoke game. Beera comes in for Slattery because we were pretty ineffective going forward. McGeehan comes in for Mowat. Similar sort of reason, really. Jacob Brown comes back in because his bless him, his little blisters have cleared up. So, I mean, I'm mocking him, but he was our top scorer last year. He's our most important attacking player. And goodness me, did it look like we missed him in that last game. So hopefully having him back in the team will make a significant difference. Apparently he still can't play with Williams. Arguably our two best players, certainly I think for star ratings, Brown and Williams are our two best players. Right back, right wing, it should be the strongest area of our team, but apparently they still can't play together. I am expecting a win today. That probably is a little bit ambitious because Stoke, I think, was Stoke in this league last year? I don't even remember. I probably should have had a look. But they're obviously a good side. They're Stoke. Stoke are always a good side. That's that famous footballing saying. Brown plays it back to McGeehan. McGeehan over the top for Hornby to chase. This is more like it. Hornby is in and Hornby scores. 6 minutes on the clock. And all of the changes I made combined there. What is this nonsense that our right-hand side can't play together? This goal came from the right-hand side. Oh, in fact, it was Diaby who played the ball forward. So Brown completely ignored the overlap. Played it to McGeehan, who's also fresh into the team, and it's a lovely ball over the top from McGeehan. And a very tidy finish from Hornby, who's obviously going to up his game. Now he knows he's got George Best at the club competing with him. Because, you know, it's George Best. You haven't signed George Best in Football Manager, so I took the opportunity to do it. If I find a player called Pele, I'll sign him too. You don't get these opportunities come up every day. It's not like those FIFA lot who have their legends. If I see someone with a name I like the look of, I'll find a way to bring them in. Corner for Stoke, and it's an equaliser. And it was a pretty poorly defended corner there. I mean, it's a decent corner. It's obviously put it into a very dangerous area in swinger, just on the edge of the D. Not on the edge of the D at all, on the edge of the 6-yard box. But Worrell is completely unmarked there. And it's such a good header. It feels like he's a player we probably should have been marking. He's one of their centre-backs. So they've had a centre-back in there, completely unmarked. The nearest player we had to him, I think, was McGeehan. That's just really poor. What are we up to there? I can only hope that he's lost his marker somehow and we saw it happen off camera. But if we're not setting up to mark him, we're idiots. They've got Harry Kane playing at right back, which seems like a bit of a waste, really. I'd stick him up front for the second half, see what he can conjure up down there. But Stoke are that good going forward. They can play Harry Kane at right back. That's what we've learnt here. And here he is in behind and gets the assist. He's calling himself Herbie whilst playing for Stoke, which seems weird. But we'll lose him. This isn't the start to the season that I was hoping for. I think this is what happens when you don't improve your team over the summer, which no matter how good I will claim my transfer window was, and I think we've certainly improved the fringe players because we've taken some old men who weren't going to get in the team and replaced them with young and up-and-comers who will be great for us. It's factual. We haven't improved the first team at all. Not for want of trying. You would have seen the frustration in the transfer special yesterday. But despite having oodles of money, we just don't seem to have the reputation to attract the sort of players that we need to improve this team, which is weird when you consider just back in January we were able to sign Chong and Hornby. These are players coming out of Premier League teams, albeit they're reserves for them. But, you know, Manchester United and Everton, two big teams, and we were able to bring players from them. But we couldn't get a backup player from Sheffield United all summer with the goalkeeper we wanted. I don't understand. Hornby's just got his second of the game, though, and hopefully this is Fraser Hornby showing why he is the pre-season favourite to be Championship top scorer this year. It's going to be a season and a half for Hornby this year, and it's another very tidy little finish. Finally starting to play a little bit more like a proper striker rather than a target man. Two very well taken goals that weren't just a result of him being a big lad who's good in the air, which is a little bit different from the majority of the goals he scored for us last year. And I would like to think it won't be a winger topping our goal scoring charts this year. Hopefully Hornby is going to push on and score an absolute ton of goals. Chong, once again, though, frustratingly inconsistent. I know he should be playing on the other side, but he's not as good as Brown. And we've seen him have brilliant games on that left wing. I think what I need to do is get Chapman on the bench. Although Wilkes, it's the problem we've got with all of them. We need to play with 3 or 4 right wingers. Brown also not playing well. And tiring. Do we bring Brivio on again? I think we do. and have Wilkes on that side playing in his natural inside forward position. Brivio gets another 20 minutes. I've got a lot of hopes for Brivio. He scored a lot of goals in League One last year, and I know I'm playing him out of position, but I just want to get him used to being in and around the first team, and then he'll get time as a striker over the course of this season. Of that, I can assure you. But I don't want to take Hornby off too often because I'm trying to force performances out of him as well. Rimanotta, once again, not playing well. Will I ever start these two together? Of course not. Why would I do that? I spent a lot of money on Rimanotta. I'll get a good performance out of him one day. Show some passion. Come on, let's grab a winner from somewhere. 2-2 against Stoke is probably fine, but 2 boring draws to start the season leaves me thinking we do still have work to do, and the transfer window's now closed. We are going to have money to spend in January, obviously, because we've got money. But I don't know. I'm not panicking yet. Wilkes has done really well here. Oh, it's inside of the post and Hornby's there. And Hornby completes his hat-trick in the 93rd minute of the match. I was already making excuses. And Fraser Hornby has said, shut up, you idiot. I'm going to score a hat-trick today. And he's put us 3-2 up with moments left in the match. Wilkes does really well here. It's an excellent effort from him. Comes back off the inside of the post, and there's not a chance Fraser Hornby is missing that from that range. If Stoke score here, I'm going to be sick all over my keyboard. They're in, and it's off the post. I haven't got enough sick in me. It's the new year now. I'm on a diet. I don't have enough food in me to be sick. That would have been... I'd have made myself a liar there. But passionately, what a comeback. That was a great comeback. We did very well in that second half. And I am slowly but surely learning we should be playing McGeehan and Mowat together. And I don't know what I'm going to do about this all our best players being right wingers situation. One of them needs to learn to play on that left wing. We will figure that out. But importantly, unbeaten start to the season. We will now charge all the way through, probably do, as usual, half a dozen or so games until the season starts to pick up a little bit. Probably towards the end of September, we'll come back and see how we're getting on. And that, of course, will be tomorrow because we're now on normal schedule again. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, 2 a day from now on. And thank you very much for watching.